Hi everyone, my name is Nick, and today we're going to take a little break from the moving monotony with an unboxing video. So today's unboxing is from Gulley Greenhouse, which is a small business out of Fort Collins, Colorado, and I'm actually really excited about this today because I have perused their Etsy shop a number of times, and what really draws me to their store is that I'm pretty sure they sell their plants as plugs, what we're going to find out, but that basically just skips the step of having a grower grow out the plant for you. They purchase the plants as plugs, and they usually just put one plug in a 4-inch pot, grow it out for a couple of months, and they jack the price up. So I've noticed that Gulley sells their plants a lot more inexpensive than many other places I see, specifically for some of the more sought after things that they have, because they're just selling them as plugs right from the source, which I think is fantastic. So I'm really interested to see what they have. They did reach out to me about doing an unboxing video, so thank you very much. And they said that they were very excited about a couple of plugs that they're going to be having in stock. So I guess that's what's inside this box. So let's go ahead and find out what they sent us. It's always exciting getting some plant mail. I have obviously been pretty preoccupied with moving, and we're not done with the moving madness yet. We still have a ways to go. If you can tell, this is not going to be our typical filming setup. I still have to get everything worked out. I'm not going to be wearing AirPods in every video, but you know, we still gotta get more settled in. We'll have a nice green background eventually, but I thought a little break would be nice. So thank you so much again for Gulley Greenhouse for sending me this box of plants, because I could really use it right now. Alrighty, so inside we have some things. Oh, a sticker. I always love some stickers, and just a couple of things about their company. Oh, they put in here the things that they are sending us. So they have little cards, which is actually really cool. Alrighty, I'm not gonna look through it right now because I don't want to spoil the surprise, but let's go ahead and see what they have. So it's just how they're sending it. I know the lighting right now is horrible. I am so sorry. I'm still getting everything worked out here, as I mentioned, but let's just judge one of these out of the box. And I really like the way that these are just folded up in paper. I think that is just like the best way to do it. Gotta work out our situation here. Okay. So we have our plant folded up in paper. Go ahead and see what it is. Oh, wow. Okay, so this one isn't a pot. It might be in a plug inside the pot. Okay, I see how they do it. So it's wrapped up in a little bit of Spanish moss, and then the plug is inside there. So this is, I can tell right off the bat, I'm pretty sure this is a Sisis amazonica. Makes me wanna grab the cards that I just put aside so that we can find a little bit more out about this plant. So I'll share at least one of them with you guys, the cards. Actually, I'll post pictures as we're going through about each plant so that you can see them and maybe pause and read them. But this is the Sisis amazonica, and they named it Rio. So it has its name Rio, and it gives you all the information. Like I said, I will include this as a close-up so you can see. But I'm really excited about this. I've never tried growing a Sisis amazonica before, and we're gonna give it a go. We're probably gonna grow it inside a glass cloche because I've heard that these things like a lot of humidity. And I really love the fact that they package these in Spanish moss. Like, I love Spanish moss, and I'm probably going to use this as decoration in my home. So I just got a little free decoration with my plants, which I really like. So here is the plug. As you can see, it's just in a little bit of like a, kind of like a coconut coir material, and it's rooted up. And so this is, like I said, how a lot of plant places are going to get their plants delivered. They're going to get them in a tray of like 100 plugs. They're going to plant them in a 4-inch plastic pot, and they are going to grow it out for you for a number of months until it's looking big enough for them, like I said, to mark the price up and get a nice profit for their plant. But you kind of skip that step with Gulley Greenhouse apparently, and they just send you the plug and you plant it in your little pot and you grow it out yourself for a fraction of the price. So I think that's fantastic. So I'm super excited about this. I feel like I can make like a little fun terrarium with this thing, or like I said, I'll grow it inside a glass cloche and maybe give it like a little like wire hoop or something for it to kind of climb around, because Sisis love to climb. But wow, I've never tried growing this plant before. It's a little bit more thicker than I was expecting than like my Sisis disc color. So welcome to the family, Rio. Okay, let's try out another one. We're gonna be making quite the mess here, which I have been, you know, making messes in my apartment all week with moving, so it's just more to add to the mess. So I'm pretty amazed at some of the plants that they have in stock. Like they're ones that I've like never seen before, which is why I've been perusing their Etsy store, because I might be like thinking about buying a plant and then I look it up on Google and then it's been popping up on Gulley Greenhouse lately. Alrighty, so I'm just unrolling. Let's see what this one is. Oh my goodness, it's a Ceropegia. So let's find out exactly what this one is. Okay, so this is the string of arrows. They call this one Archer. And I don't know, I guess I'll take it out of the pot again so that you guys can see a little bit better about how they ship it. Once again, wrapped up in the Spanish moss, which I'm obsessed with. I'm gonna make a whole bundle of Spanish moss and like hang them from my ceiling. I'm actually I hate that I'm like just as excited about the Spanish moss as I am about the plants, but that's just like me and my personality. You guys know me and my little like weedy plants. But this is the little string of arrows, which is fantastic because all you need with the Ceropegia is one little vine, and then it's just going to grow 4 days and become just a long, like multiple feet long vine, and then you can start propagating it and make a nice full pot. So this is really all you need. I'd much rather buy my plants as a plug than cuttings. I've never myself ordered cuttings online. I think that's very, very risky, but I see no risk, honestly, with buying a plug. I think, like I said, it's just like skipping the step of having them grow it out for you. Just do it yourself, which I honestly kind of appreciate a little bit more, because when you buy a 4-inch pot from your local nursery, it's obviously been growing in a greenhouse since they've been growing it out, and they've been subject to prime conditions, the best humidity and light that these plants can ask for. And we move into our homes, it's the exact opposite of that. So starting this plant out in my home, where it's already going to be receiving less light and less humidity, honestly is probably doing me a little bit of a favor, because it's not going to poop out on me and have to acclimate to my home setting. So I'm just going to have this plant immediately be acclimating to my home, because this is where it's going to be growing all of its life. What a good selection. I've seen a couple of these tags here that are sitting next to me, and I'm getting a little spoiled, I'll admit, of some really cool plants that we're gonna be pulling out of this box. On to the next one. Oh, it's so convenient having this counter here. This is not going to be my typical filming spot, like I said, but I'm sure it might become a little convenient when I'm filming my unboxing videos. Let's see what we have. Oh, one of my favorites. This is a string of needles, they call it. And I like how they use these little sticks to also keep the plants in place. So this is a Ceropegia linearis. What do they name this one? It's Agnes. It's Agnes, the string of needles. How fitting. Oh my gosh, that's so perfect. Oh my goodness, this is such a little cutie. And look, even though it's just one plug, you have a couple vines in there, which is fantastic. I admittedly wasn't expecting that. Like I would expect to get a plug with literally just one plant in the pot, but even if this is just one plant, it's clearly been branching out very, very well. Looks fantastic. Just don't want to get the Spanish moss tangled up in these delicate vines, but oh, isn't that so fantastic? It looks like a little like vine of rosemary. This is one of the plants in my home that I really appreciate. I have one of these I've been growing in my home for probably almost a year now, and this is like the fastest growing plant I have in my home. So being able to purchase this as a little plant like this is like really, really doing you a favor, because you're just gonna start out with this little bit right here. It's going to be like 6 feet long in like 6 months, and then you can start propagating, like I was saying with the Ceropegia, the string of arrows, was that it? The string of arrows, Archer, the string of arrows, that you're just gonna get like a bunch of plant in due time. So some other plants that you'd be purchasing as a plug, like if you bought like, I don't know, like a philodendron pink princess as a plug, it's obviously going to take a lot of time to grow out, but something like this, a Ceropegia, is like the best thing to buy as a plug, because it's just going to be growing nonstop for you, as I experience in my home. Such a cutie. I'll start lining up some of the plants in front of the box here so you guys can kind of get a look at them as we are pulling more out of the box. And none of these plants have any damage on them. They do such a great job at shipping them. Like I said, I think packing paper is like the way to go when shipping plants. It's so simple and it works so well. Whoa! I have no idea what this is. This is a succulent. It's a crassula of some sort. Let's see what kind it is. Okay, so it is Winnie, the variegated tom thumb. They call this crassula pastel. Her days are filled with stitching the teeniest buttons on her vintage cardigan collection. How cute. Oh, Winnie. This is so cool. I've never heard this before. This is stunning. This reminds me of like a larger version of like watch chain crassula, just like thicker. This one looks like it belongs under the sea or to be like planted in with like sand and some other like funky succulents that have like that like algae, kelp, coral look. So this is fantastic. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of plant in here. Like I was saying with that string of needles, I'm getting kind of shocked about how much plant they are able to give you with just this tiny plug. Keeping in mind, like I said, that this is what they would use in a 4-inch pot. In many cases, they usually would just use one plug in a 4-inch pot. There's some examples that would be like, maybe you would use like 3 plugs in a 4-inch pot, but pretty much all of these, the Sisis amazonica for sure, and these Ceropegia, I feel like these days would be things that growers are just putting one in the pot, letting it grow out for 2 months before they go and ship it to their clients. So this is so cool. So far out of all these plants, this is the one I like never heard of before, and it's gorgeous. You can tell that if they give it a lot of light, it's going to get some nice pink hues. We'll see how it goes. My new apartment has east-facing windows, so it's not going to be as flooded with sunlight as it would have been in my old apartment, but I think that east-facing window is going to still be bright enough to give this at least a little bit of like a coral hue to it, so that's very exciting. Oh, this one's so cute. I'm gonna have to give this one like a super cute planter and maybe do like a little succulent arrangement with it, or like replace one of my other succulent planters that I have with this and throw it in, because this is just stunning. Let's see what else we have. I think we have at least 2 more. 1, maybe 2, which is good because I'm starting to really make a mess here. My table is not that big. Oh, wow. This is one that I was not expecting. Oh, okay, here it is. So this is Gloria, the Silver Glory Ceropegia woodii. This is one that's been very hard to find in the United States. It's probably, I guess, just going to be starting up as plugs, apparently, if they're getting these plugs, but that's very good to know. This is a very highly sought after plant. I've never actually grown this one in my home, and this plug is like the size of what you would be getting in a 4-inch pot. So this is going to save you so much money in comparison as to what you would be getting at your local nurseries that do have this in stock. Wow, I am shocked to see this. This is just, like I said, something that is such a hot commodity on Instagram these days. So it's something I was 100% not expecting to be in this box. I will say that outright. So I'm sure a lot of people will be very happy to know that they can get their Ceropegia woodii Silver Glory, their Gloria. What does it say? This silver pixie has an itchy curiosity and a capacity for delight. That's so adorable. We love plants with personality, and these plants have more than personality. They also have names, but such a good deal. This is something that I know a lot of people will be really happy to be able to get their hands on. Lots of Ceropegia today. I think they probably know I'm very into my string of hearts. It's one of my OGs that I am such a big fan of, but I've never grown the Silver Glory in my home, so I'm thrilled to be trying this one out. Oh, look at this. This is a little Peperomia. They call this one Herbie, the beetle Peperomia. It's Peperomia Angulata. This little beetle will be the talk of the sill. A true love bug. Oh my god, that's so cute. This is so adorable. This looks very similar to like Peperomia, like quadrangularis. It could be the same. It could be just a different name that they use on the market, or perhaps the name has changed over time. But there are over 1,000 different types of Peperomia, so it is very likely that this is just a different species that I have not become familiar with yet. So this is absolutely adorable and a great new addition to my collection, as you guys know. I am a huge fan of Peperomias, and it's so perfect to be able to buy this perfectly small like this and plant it up in something. Peperomias like love to be like set and forget kind of plant, so I can plant this in the planter that I fall in love with and let it be. Typically when I buy a Peperomia from the store that's been growing in its 4-inch plastic nursery pot for who knows how long, I usually struggle with them once I take them out, but when I grow them as like a cutting or as a plug in this situation, I usually have a lot more luck planting them in the planter that I want them to be in. So that's something I really like. You can see that the roots on these plants are very delicate in comparison to the other ones, so it does not want to be in a large container. So I'll put this in something small, perhaps one of the planters that I've thrown myself. And I think it's gonna be so adorable. And I love the way the Peperomias grow, very similar to like the Ceropeggias that they were seeing. They kind of branch off. So you can see this is a branch right here, a branch here, a branch here, a branch here, and even a 5th one that's coming out of the bottom here. And a 6th it looks like. So even though this is just one little plug, give this a couple of months and it's going to be a nice full little pot of Pepperomia Angulata, which is very exciting. You guys know I'm such a big fan of my Peperomia quadrangularis. So this one's going to fit me like a glove. So I love that. Oh, it's so adorable. It's so adorable. Little bits of red on it. Oh, it's stunning. I guess they were giving these plants like the perfect amount of light when they got them in because these are just so perfectly blushed. They look amazing. Muffin, are you messing with something? I hear Muffin on the other side of the counter messing with something. Okay, that's everything. That is definitely everything. So thank goodness, because I have a bunch of new plants to tend to now, and I also have a little bit of a mess to clean up. Wow, this was so exciting. Thank you guys again from Gulley Greenhouse for sending me these plants. This is such a great selection. I'm so thrilled to be able to try out some of these new plants. Some of them, like I said, I was not expecting to see in this selection, specifically the Ceropeggia Silver Glory, I think they call it. That is one that I know is like very popular on Instagram right now and very sought after. So it's great to see it so accessible. That's something I've been loving about, you know, these plants. Some of them get very hard to find, and it's very nice when you're able to get them at such a perfect size for probably a very good price. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. This unboxing was very exciting and a nice little break from the craziness that's been going on in my home with moving. I'm still not settled, as you can see, but we'll get back to a couple more moving videos before we, for real, get on with our regular videos. So thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you don't already, follow me on Instagram at Philly Foliage. I will leave Gulley Greenhouse's Instagram in my description as well. And I will see you guys in my next video. Have a great day.